Hi, I'm Russell, the Development Manager for Support Cambridgeshire. Excuse the rather casual garb, but it's very warm today, and I'm here at Murrow Village Hall in Wisbech. And we're here today to look at the Community Building Mentor Scheme, which is a specific plank of work under the Support Cambridgeshire project, managed rather effectively by our partners Cambridgeshire Acre. I'm here to talk to two people today, Dave Gibbs, who's the Community Building Mentor, and John, who's one of the existing trustees. So we're going to go inside and meet them now. So the first person I'm going to introduce myself to is Dave Gibbs.
Hello.
You are a real live community building mentor.
I am indeed, yes.
And you are John, existing trustee?
Correct.
Brilliant, lovely. Okay, thank you very much. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the hall, John?
Certainly. A hall that the community inherited maybe over 20 years ago when the new village school was built. This is an old Victorian village school. It has all the problems of a Victorian building, high maintenance costs, high heating costs and things like that, but it is a good space and it's available. We've got all the necessary facilities. We've got a small stage. We also have a kitchen area which can handle basic cookery.
So how big's the village in terms of size?
About 400 properties.
Okay, fantastic.
So Dave, how long have you been a community building mentor?
It must be a little over a year now, I think.
Okay, so this is not your hall.
No.
Can you tell me a little bit about your hall?
Certainly. I'm a trustee of Newton Village Hall in the little village of Newton in the Isle, which is about 4 or 5 miles up the road from here, and I've been there for the last 7 years now. I'm the treasurer and I look after various other aspects of the running of the hall.
Okay, so I think I know what a community building mentor is, but what do you think it is?
Well, I think the first thing to say is that there is no blueprint. The role of a community building mentor is to provide the support that is required, and it's very much a case of listening to the hall that I'm supporting, the trustees, talking to them about what they need, and then just doing all I can to support them and to signpost them to other sources of support and information.
Do you think that life is becoming more complex for village halls generally?
Undoubtedly so, and getting more and more complicated all the time. There is so much new legislation coming in that affects what we do, and some of these smaller halls, like my own, struggle to keep up to date with that. So having a mechanism in place that enables that information to be collated and shared is really important.
So what sort of skills do you think you need to be a community building mentor?
As I say, the most important thing is to listen. I'm not here to tell Murrow Village Hall how to run their hall, what they should and shouldn't be doing. My role is to sit in the background and just help them to deal with the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis.
And I presume you sit on the, more or less, the community building mentor bank, so if you're ever called on, you can go out and give the support that you need to give.
We have a team of mentors. Some of them have specialist knowledge about particular issues. We have somebody who's a licensing specialist. I've never run a bar. I have no real in-depth knowledge of licensing law and that sort of thing. So it's about using sometimes the best person in terms of their skills and knowledge, sometimes the most local person in terms of the practicalities of bringing two halls together. The situation we found ourselves in here with Murrow was that the old committee all resigned together at an AGM, leaving the hall effectively facing closure, and the community came together and they decided they were not going to accept closure. Within a matter of weeks, they'd found 12 new trustees interested in taking it on. They've all got a wealth of life experience and transferable skills, but none of them actually had community buildings management experience. So my role was simply to support that process and just help them to do the amazing work that they've done in the last year and a bit. They truly have turned this hall around, and it's now once again operating as a vibrant asset at the heart of their community.
What type of support do you give them? Do you attend meetings with them, or are you at the end of the telephone, or how does it work?
Both. I have been attending all of their trustees meetings. It happens, as I say, I'm not so far up the road, so it's viable for me to get here every time. And really just to go away and look at some of the more complex legal aspects. There are issues with governing document that we've been working on, and I work very closely with Lisa Chambers at Cambridgeshire Acre, and we've helped with that process, but also it's just a case of reminding them sometimes that they are actually doing a really good job, and that they might get bogged down in it and get frustrated with it at times, as we all do, but at the end of the day it's worth it for the difference it makes to their community.
Okay, I'm now talking to John Carr, one of the existing trustees of Murrow Village Hall. Hello, John.
Hello there.
I believe you've been a trustee for about 14 months, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Are you enjoying it?
Mainly, yes. There are moments.
Where it's a challenge.
Indeed, you have doubts.
Okay. You've been receiving some support from Dave as a community building mentor?
Very much so. I mean, we came into this because we were interested in the village hall, and there's a good mix on the committee, but the reality is none of us know absolutely anything about running a village hall, and so it's important to have access to information, and Dave's the man that does it. It's very good the way he does it as well. He doesn't impose himself on us, but he's there if we need to ask a question, and he'll slip into the conversations we're having in the meetings some relevant information, or follow up afterwards with emails and phone calls to the officers and saying, you do realise this, or maybe you should have thought about that.
Okay, I believe you've got a specific example where he's given you some support recently.
Indeed, all this new wonderful legislation concerning the Data Protection Act, I mean, we on the committee didn't want to know. Quite frankly, that's not what we joined the committee for. But Dave and Acre have between them given us all the information that steered us in the right direction, told us exactly what we do need to do, and given us the sort of moral support to the officers to ensure that the rest of the committee goes along with it.
So I think that shows the value of information and advice. We talk about it all the time, but here's a very, very real practical situation where advice and support through the community building mentor scheme has helped an organisation or a group move forward. So they chart their own destiny, but when they have challenges, they can go and get support and advice that they need, and that's what it's all about. So it's been a great day here at Murrow, and I hope you enjoy the video.